Red 2 standing by, all for lit and in the green. Welcome back to Banjo-Kazooie, where I have had a time because I accidentally wound up saving over my restore point that I've been using to keep track of everything rather than saving and quitting. So I had to go through the entirety of Clanker's Cavern and Bubble Gloop's Swamp all over again. Oh, by the way, while we're here, I'd better get my notebook and a pen, because of course there is another Brentilda. Sorry about that. I did not intend to give us a close-up of Brentilda. I accidentally hit the control stick while trying to press the B button. So, I'm not worrying about getting any notes. You'll find one more move in here, Banjo. I'm not giving you any more dialogue. You'll have to find it yourself. So what we need to do to find it is to run along and overseeing this pit on this little stretch of sand out past the tree. Bottles. These are the running shoes. Beaky wears them on her scrawny feet to make her run really fast for a limited time. Well, you've learned all one of the moves I can teach you on this world now. Well, the rest is all up to you. I'm going back home. It's really hot here. Good luck, Banjo. So there we go. That is pretty much... That was a very determined scarab beetle. Alright, we always get that grandiose version of the theme when we're near Jinxie the Sphinx. We've got a tree that desperately needs water, but we're not worrying about that just yet. Off to Freeze Easy Peak. So these boots will last us just long enough to get out of the sand and down and up we go. Onwards and upwards from here. So I did actually get that Jiggy in the coffin once again. It's actually surprisingly easy to get. I didn't realize it was that easy. Oh well, takes a bit of the gloss off the achievement, but now we are going somewhere much colder. Our mandatory ice level with, I don't know, probably one of the less likable characters in the entire Banjo series. Well, one more move for us. The peak's got another new move waiting for you, if you can find it. So, we've got an igloo over here. I've accidentally used the Wonder Wing a few times. So we have a very sad igloo. Where's our presents? Our dad Boggy said he was fetching them. He's been gone ages. So, the kids have lost their presents. Unsurprisingly, this is a very Christmassy level. We head on down here and there is a corpse. Well, as always, let's go through its pockets for change. Oh, my stomach aches. I shouldn't have eaten that shiny thing. Someone help poor Boggy. So this is Boggy, our deadbeat dad, and an absolutely hopeless character. He's supposed to be out looking for his kids' presents, but he's sick or dead, one of the two. Note that pulverizing his stomach does not actually do anything. How exactly are we going to wind up getting whatever that shiny thing is out of Boggy's bloated guts? We'll find a way. And the infamous Sir Slush is nearby. Sir Slush can only be defeated with the Beak Bomb. You'll hear their irritating laughter and the whooshing noise of their snowballs quite a lot. Now, there is a glitch I want to do, but we will wait until we head over here to a flight pad and a bottles. Whoops. So there's a Jinjo up here, and there's our not that well hidden last move. The last move in the game. And we're skidding away. Time for some aerial action with my devastating beak bomb attack. Nice one, Goggles. Tell me more. When you're flying, press B to launch Kazooie at a target like a missile. Choose your targets carefully, though, as it costs a red feather each time you use it. Well played, Banjo. You've now learned all the moves in the game. So, there's that sorted out. Do we want to take out the snowmen? Probably best if we do take them out, because then we can continue unimpeded. So prepare for A, aerial combat, and B, complete and utter failure. So yeah, the beak bomb is very difficult. I did say prepare for complete and utter failure. The beak bomb is notoriously difficult to control. If you are not dead on with whatever you're trying to hit, you will miss. And if you wind up going at an angle, you will probably wind up putting yourself in the water, which really doesn't help. You have to get on just the right level to hit them in the hat, and they have an annoying habit of just flying out of the way. Like that. Because they move their heads when they throw. So if you think you've got a shot lined up, they will move just as you're about to attack them. It's almost prescient. And it's incredibly irritating. Their laughter and the noises their snowballs make really don't help. They try and lead their shots too, which is incredibly infuriating. Line the crotch up. There we are, that's one of them. Let's speed this up. Certain irony that the moment I shut up, I suddenly become a much better shot. It's like even the game doesn't like the sound of my voice. It's kind of rough, but the Sir Slushes are out of the way for now. They're not going to respawn, thankfully. This game is pretty good about not giving us respawning enemies. But you're going to notice that there are quite a few notes that are in frigid water. We saw that landing in the water hurt us. There are probably quite a lot of things that hurt us. Even so, with the Sir Slushes out of the way, this is actually a pretty relaxed level in all things. Oh, while we're here, by the way, this is a present. Hang on, oh, there's a present back near here, isn't there? I think there's a present near here anyway. Let's see, one's in the termite tower. No, yeah. So there's not a present near there. We're okay for now, but now I can mess around with that little trick I wanted to try out. Can I get it to work? It's a speedrunning trick related to this. So, we ground pound this, and this will introduce us to the Twinklies. We have to protect them from the Twinkly Munchers as they hop across to their tree. If enough of them get there, they can light the tree for us. It is working, nice! If you actually go far enough off screen, they won't actually appear and they won't actually eat the twinkly, so you don't have to waste your time running back and forth. I'm really chuffed I got this to work. I mean, I suppose it's not that hard, but it just speeds everything up nicely and you don't have to worry about any of them being eaten. There we go. The box explodes! That was close, but we made it. Now switch us on. And we're going to run into the other enemy in the level shortly. These are ice cubes. I believe their name is Chinka, which I kind of hesitate to say because it just doesn't feel like it's that right per se. It almost... Oh well. That just is what they're called, unfortunately. But I must have just narrowly missed. So, turn the lights on and it is Christmas time. We get a very nice Christmas rendition. But of course we have to go flying again. We can do a little bit of flying stuff and then I can actually get to talking about things. So, yeah, I've always been very much a winter person. But winter, because of where I am, I've made it clear several times that I am in Australia. We don't really do Christmas in winter, obviously. It's in the middle of summer. But the funny thing is, for us, so many things have that wintry Christmas imagery, which is really strange. So we've finished that bit. And we can keep the music going for a little bit. Probably, I haven't done my usual listen to the music, so we'll do that when I get back out. Or now. Oh, while we're here, let's at least go and hit the witch switch, which will open up that. So that's got our jiggy for there, but yet I need to sort of do a proper listen to the music bit, but really, it's so strange having a Christmas in winter. Well, at least all the wintry Christmas imagery. It doesn't really fit with the way our country is designed because, like pretty much everywhere in the Southern Hemisphere, Christmas is very summery. Christmas is just hot. It's hot, it's dry, everything's usually on fire, it's good barbecue weather, it's good backyard cricket weather, but it is not wintry. It's a holdover from colonial times, basically. There we go. So, our snowman has dumped that out, which we should probably go and get. because we will be going up the snowman's scarf a little later on. Flying is probably the best way to get around here, but it's a little lacking in economy. Well, skidded into it, that's okay. Now let's get into the tree. So yeah, we've got Christmas trees, which are very typical English Christmas trees. We've got all the usual Christmas imagery, which is winter, it's robins, it's all the sort of imagery you'd expect. There's not really anything that is distinctly Australian. I think a few people did try and make some Australian Christmas carols, but they haven't really caught on. We still have pretty much everything focused around a European Christmas. Which, as I said, given the ancestry of Australia as we know it, it makes sense. But even then, Christmas it's in part based on, I believe, acknowledgements of the solstice. Don't know how I missed that. Yeah, it's not... I mean, even historically speaking, I think the birthday of the prophet who became known as Jesus, central figure of Christianity, was at a completely different time of year. Not 100% sure. No, I don't want to... How did I manage to get it to go right along the edge? That's a fairly good shot. But yeah, basically, Christmas sort of has a few roots in trying to look appealing for pagan converts, essentially, and it actually varies. I think Orthodox Christmas is very different, for one thing, to sort of standard Christmas, to sort of, well, okay, I'm not sure how best to put it, but sort of the various Orthodox traditions that are usually Greece and Eastern Europe, they generally have Christmas, I think, in January at slightly different times of the year. There's a big walrus who is very friendly, but does not like bears. I mean, Banjo is about as far from fierce as you can get, but I don't think we can tell that particular walrus, unfortunately. Okay, we'll need to come back here at a later point because this is where we finish our race. We will have 2 races. Oh, there he goes. Alright, now we need to move around the area a bit more and go up the snowman's scarf to trigger a few more quests. In a sense. But we definitely need to go from the start of it. And we'll get plenty of feathers as well, don't worry about that. But yeah, Christmas is a bit of a weird thing for Australia. There's nothing that's really typical about it. We've got our own little celebrations, but everything just always winds up being framed by the European model. So it's just unusual. It just feels really unusual as far as I'm concerned, so it's not a bad thing, it's just highly atypical. Everything is just sort of that little bit different because you've got Easter, which is based on pagan festivals again, and is connected to spring, whereas it's autumn for us. It's all very different. We don't really have any festivals that come from native culture. And it really makes me wonder exactly how much we've lost from the gradual destruction of Indigenous culture over the years. A lot of it was essentially just wiped out. If I made it, I've made it onto the broom. And we've got a fairly well hidden Jinjo that I remember my brother and I did take quite some time to find when we were playing this for the first time. It was a bit tricky, but we eventually got it. There's a bit of fiddling around with the orange Jinjo as well. Where's the pink one, anyway? Oh no, I've got that. It's the yellow one. That's in Mumbo's, I think. So, Well, we don't want to go up there just yet. We want to go along the pipe. Because there's a jiggy hidden in the pipe. There we are. See, very, very stereotypical snowman. Pretty much everything about Christmas is just so alien from what we experience. And up we go. We can get to the top of the snowman and... So wait, why does that work? Did I hit the ground? Surely that should have broken the ice cube. I mean, that... Well, now, I would like to introduce all of you to a little something I like to call the ironing principle. Because it's based on the brilliant concept of essentially the idea that you could theoretically iron your clothes while wearing them to save time. The ultimate... Camera change, that was a bit rattling. Basically, the essential... The essence of the ironing principle is just because you can doesn't mean you should. I mean, yes, you theoretically can try ironing your clothes while wearing them to save time. Should you iron your clothes while wearing them to save time? Absolutely not. That would not be a very good idea. And I really have to remember that quite a lot of the things I think are going to be brilliant won't be. Do I have all the presents? I'm pretty sure I do. Sorry about that, Wayne. Sinuses are still acting up. Yep, I'm pretty sure I've got all the presents. So what we need to do instead is get onto this. This will enable Boggy to vomit up the thing he swallowed, which is a jiggy. And we found Boggy's sled, and he decides to go and head off and race. It's like, oh, my kids are sad. They haven't got their presents. Oh, screw the kids, I'm going to race. You know what? Let's do it now. Boggy's not going to do it. At absolutely no point will Boggy actually wind up trying to give his kids the presents they're supposed to have. So, we have to do it for him. Mind you, in Banjo-Tooie, these kids wind up being ungrateful little brats who give us a fair bit of grief. The only sane member of the entire family is Boggy's wife. So there we are, we can celebrate with the kids because we got our shiny thing. We've got 2 races with Boggy. We've got Wazza and we've got the Jinjos. So we're actually going at a pretty good pace despite the fact that I have crashed and burned several times, which is just like all my first dates. Yeah, but despite the fact that Christmas is really not very typical for us, I've always liked winter. I prefer cool, rainy weather. I prefer short days and long nights because over time I pretty much have become nocturnal. I don't like getting up early. I definitely don't like basically having to do stuff in the morning. I prefer to do things at my own pace, at my own time, and I'm very much more creative at night. If only I had a job that did sort of allow me to work around that. Or even if I was actually good enough to wind up making something like this my full-time job. I wish. So with a few notes. Yep, the Jinjo's here. So we got one more Jinjo. And a selection of notes. And we can stand on Mumbo's pad and transform. I am the Mumbo. I'm Mumbo Jumbo, and you are the Walrus. Banjo's gone all fat and got big teeth. I am he, as you are me, and we are all together. I am indeed the Walrus. We probably we don't really have the Eggman. Wrong game. According to some sources, I Am the Walrus was written in response to a essentially as a response to a fan letter, where Lennon was told that, there it is, thank heavens. But yeah, Lennon was told that fans were being asked by their teacher to analyse Beatles lyrics, look for subversive messages and things like that. Lennon's response was basically writing I Am the Walrus and sitting back and going, profanity removed, right, let them try and sort that one out. It is a masterpiece of absurdity and surrealism, perhaps inspired by Lewis Carroll and his works. It's weird, it's strange, and it's an amazing song. It is almost a perfect parody of that psychedelic movement popular at the time. Nothing about it makes sense, but it's incredibly funny and so self-aware. Apparently it is safe for Wazza to come out now. And he's happy! Look at him! He's so happy. Wow, another walrus! Take this! But watch out for a smelly brown bear and his ugly bird partner. Please don't be mean, sir. If only you knew. It would probably break your heart if you realised. How does he not cotton on? We've got the same backpack and shorts. And he's so happy. Why, hello again, Mr. Walrus. Feel free to have a look around Wazza's cave. So you might notice up there, there's our last Jinjo. We do have to come back here as bear and bird. But we have to be the walrus in order to sneak around the back. As far as I know, the frame rate used to drop a bit going through this area. There is our empty honeycomb guarded by an ice cube. So that's all we can do in Wazza's cave for now. Or was it here that the frame rate tanked? No, it seems a bit smoother on the on NSO, though NSO did have a few glitches on things along the way. Now we have to go and race a deadbeat father. But yeah, we don't get snow. It's very, very rare for anywhere outside the mountains to wind up getting snow in Australia. I think it might have snowed over Uluru sometimes. You do get rain sometimes, and it can be truly spectacular. But yeah, we don't get a lot of snow. Basically, winter I appreciate because it's a respite from the horrific heat. It's basically an opportunity for the temperatures to be a little bit more sane, everything to cool down, the land to actually get some water. And we just casually slide in again. Fancy a race? Hop on the sled if you do. So yeah, winter has always been much nicer to me, and I can't really understand why people like summer that much. I do get that the cold can be a bit rough sometimes, but we're not a country that has to worry about blizzards and sub-zero temperatures for the most part. I don't think we get blizzards. And we don't really have to worry about sub-zero temperatures unless you're up in the mountains. Boggy will generally speed up when he starts waheying. So for me, it's like, why would you not like winter here? Like, if you are in places where there are blizzards and horrible things like that, I can certainly understand why. But here, where it's cooler, it actually rains, it's a respite from stepping outside and having your skin flayed off whenever you enter the sunlight. I genuinely don't get it. I genuinely don't get why people like the Australian summers, because the conditions are so miserable. Alright, I'll slow down a little bit. Boggy, like most races and minigames and things, boggy rubber bands. So wait for him to go, and then jump hard on the last slopes, because you'll ascend them very quickly.
Phew, you're too quick for me, Mr. Walrus. Here's your medal. I reckon I need to race someone my own size.
So he's still racing. He's still mucking around and racing, and we get a gold medal. Alright, now we can head back to Mumbo's. There's a Mumbo token underwater, I believe. But yeah, I like the atmosphere of winter. I like being able to sit by the fire with a good book. It's probably the perfect situation, a rainy afternoon or a rainy evening, sitting by the fire with a good book, or maybe watching the footy. So many good memories from childhood, because there used to be a lot more footy on free-to-air. I'm starting to sound like an old man in some cases. But it just seemed a lot easier. You had a few more games on free-to-air telly, because pay TV wasn't huge. You had better commentators, for one thing. So we change back. Now you are no longer the walrus. You're a bear. And we'll get the last race done because we've got the running shoes. Oh, I've kind of made this go a little bit longer than I anticipated. Oh well, we are very nearly done. So you get a special extended you get an extended run of Freeze Easy Peak, as I've tried to tell nostalgic stories. But it was always nice just being able to sit by the fire, read a book, listen to the rain outside. It's just so pleasant. It was relaxing in its own way. Very relaxing. And here we go. And here we go. So we need the running shoes for this. You cannot beat Boggy without the running shoes. Time to focus, because Boggy again cheats. Also, don't land in the water, or else you will wind up running out of running shoes. Problem is, we're a bit faster than him at normal pace. But Boggy rubber bands. And he can push us around as well. This is the perspective on this bit always screws me up. I'm planning your untimely demise. There we are. Take that, you deadbeat. Don't!
I've lost again. Take my other medal. I'm off to look for my kids' presents.
We've already done that, you schlub. While you've been sitting there eating things you shouldn't eat and mucking around racing, we have been out there looking after your kids. You can't raise your kids. I raise your kids better than you do. And now we have to go and torment Wazza. And he will comment on it if we go up to him. Eek! The bear again! Take that noisy orange thing with you and leave poor Wazza alone. I mean, like, he seems nice, but he's prejudiced as all get out. I mean, he's probably scared of polar bears. He probably thinks we're some sort of weird polar bear, because I imagine polar bears might eat walruses. I'm not exactly up to speed on the eating habits of polar bears. But now, one final kick. If we make it all the way back to the start, and go in here, we have our bright and jubilant house. He's asleep. If we talk to him,
I wish those kids would be quiet. Old Boggy needs some sleep.
he only bothers to wake up to talk to us. He does not give a damn in the slightest. And he just gets worse in the next game. We really should have called Child Protection Services on him when we had the chance. Still, that's wrapped everything up for this world. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.